there's just so many. There's just so many artists in the world. So many songs. It's like, not everyone likes the same thing. How can you make everyone happy? You know, you want to be the best artist you can be. Well, I wanna make everyone happy. A song that everyone can appreciate. You know, is it possible? I don't know, but I'ma try. You know, this song right here just so happens to be a song I never wrote. Kinda confusing, huh? But it's still my song. It's still my lyrics. This is the song. This is the song I want to share with you. A song I never wrote. This is a song about a song I never wrote. A song crafted beautifully, down to every quote. A song thought out carefully, without a day of truancy. Just time and ingenuity to make it flow fluently. It started with a canvas, then an ink pen to brand it. Then a line that would expand to an Atlantic of enchantment. Along with a poet who so brilliantly quoted his very own motives that motivated him when he wrote it. Not quite yet knowing where his story was going. Just a last night idea that started growing this morning. He would blossom many lines of inordinate but sort him, forming a dark cloud that poured out his euphorium's boredom. Now brainstorming, standing at an abandoned building gazing, he would destruct his former project for an enormous foundation. A place to pitch a tent for his blueprinted formations and plans to lay substance statements that would change future ages. So he started writing anxiously, but all the while patiently. He freed his mind to lay down every line courageously. Since infancy, he held a hidden strength and inner entity, lent to thee by a higher mental dire infantry, who sent to thee an innovative orchestrative symphony that literally made him the epitome, vividly reading illiteracy, so we could see everything from a eagle-eye view, not getting caught up and misconstrued like those evil guys do. I'm talking common sense, the common thing that people fly through, while never asking who, what, where, when, and why you would disagree to their opinion or object to their thoughts. Analyzation for this animal nation, let it be taught, because the truth is, we truthfully don't know what the truth is, and to truthfully prove it would prove to be truthfully useless. Using all of this and all his wits, he solemnly slipped into deeper questioning on how all of this fits. In geometry, if 3 plus b equals 6, then obviously wouldn't b equal 3, and that's it? A number that you can't see, but it's easy to figure. But I'm intrigued with people's statements when the equation gets bigger. If nothingness plus b equals the universe, then you would say that b is God, right? And you wouldn't be the first. See, in the first case, you truthfully knew that b equaled 3. But in this equation, b really stands for belief. Because you don't know how we got here, you just know what you read, what people told you, how you were raised, and what you were taught to believe. See, he believed the world to be a great abundance of grief, and when they come across some substance, then they finally see. But then make it to be something greater than it truly is. And if this frustrates you, ask yourself, are you truly pissed? Thinking it over in his mind, he finally came to conclude that this wasn't the path to use or the subject to choose to write a great song that our country could fully appreciate. Because suggesting different theories is what brings out our inner hate. So many wars being started over beliefs and religion. Atheism or greater visions leads to hate and racism. Holidays that were thought by some as evil paganism. Is it true? Well, what can he do? The answer can't be visioned. So he turned a new leaf and wrote a story of fiction full of warlocks, wizards, sorceresses, dragons, and witches. Good versus evil, spells and magic. Then mythologically moving on to oracles with crystal balls, tarot cards, and reading palms. Who met at night in candlelight to read and send out future messages through an enchanted forest of trolls, unicorns, and Pegasus, to warn them of the evil, black magic, and turmoil, and to protect them from the trolls, ogres, goblins, and gargoyles. He knew this song would spark the inner hearts of children like charcoal, but some of their hard-boiled parents would blow smoke like Marlboro. So how could he make them both happy and somehow reduce all of the friction? Why do children grow up and get mad when their children fall in love with fiction? Would y'all just listen for a second, because right now this is me. Some of you parents need to be slapped for not letting your kids watch Disney, and all because you say it was founded by an evil creator. Well, if you see so much evil in it, then I consider you the maker. So after he figured people wouldn't join in this mythological toast, he decided to coast towards the study of an astrological approach. In horoscopes, there's more to know than just the name of your sign, the month you were born, or what you can find in the back of your TV guide. Not to say that advice can enlighten your mind, but dig deeper and find a light that can be seen by the blind. See me? I'm a Virgo, and I know this for sure, so watch me emerge, yo, mind to learn more of my astrological circle. See, my ruling planet's Mercury that I share with the Gemini, who's my incompatible sign but oddly shares a compatible mind. We're both brilliant and like people that stimulate our intelligence, spark our curiosity, and embark on a sexual relevance. A pleasure that can't be measured, but whenever I least expect it, the sweet witch of the east can easily become the bitch west witch. The best click connection or compatible sign that I could score with, though, would be one of the four: a Cancer, Taurus, Capricorn, or a Scorpio. So I go for it, cause it doesn't get any better than this. Plus these signs consist of most of my friends that I'm close with. Now there's one more sign I haven't mentioned, but I got to list. It's not my compatible or my incompatible sign, it's my opposite. I got an uncle who's a Pisces, my good old Uncle Rock, who loves to kick back and watch the news all day on Fox. He rides his gold wing with his biker cap flaring away. He's all about politics, freedom, and the American way. I barely can stay interested in the things he's intrigued with, but above all that, he really is a fun person to drink with. Not to say that that's a good thing or that an opposite's a bad thing, cause opposites can attract and match up like a tag team, like a positive to a negative or a subject to a predicate. Just don't get ahead of it, let it get out of control and you'll be regretting it. Then he started thinking, just cause he can compare this to himself, could he really make a believer out of everybody else? Mention astrology to some folks and they don't even want to hear it. Plus Christians won't even listen to it cause it isn't in their spirit. Is it because they think it's sacrilegious or is it because they fear it? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter cause they're not coming near it. So he laid down his pen in frustration and thought about all his diminished options and the few that he's got. Then he reviewed over those few and knew they soon would be cropped. That's when he let out a sigh, balled up his paper and stopped. It's impossible, he thought, just to sit down and jot a lot of words and expect the world to listen and walk a new path of righteousness on a spiritual hunt, unafraid to be creative and become what they want. Could there be another subject he could hit that's undodgeable? Could he somehow strand a follicle and expand one last article? He spoke of the biblical, mythological, and the astrological and covered them carefully with the utmost expertise modules. So he took a look through his secret playbook and thought logical. Then upon the last page he came to gaze upon an audible, an attack actually mapped out like an abstract obstacle. It was a plan he'd been constructing labeled nothing is impossible. If he somehow could master this blueprinted incentive, could it possibly send a message to teach them of his intentions? It would take more construction than he ever could mention. So we got straight to work and tried to ignore the tension. For hours and hours ingeniously the writer thought and fought through agonizing and antagonizing writer's block. After his nerves became numb to the antagonization, he began entering deeper realms of his imagination. Then beautifully his subject would start to leap. Miraculously his idea had formed a heartbeat, a hearty strong piece of substance that would tap into feelings. It held massive weight, a song that would captivate millions. It was the moment that he strived so hard to achieve, all from a canvas. It was almost too hard to believe. He was so excited he could barely hold his composure, but he kept writing bravely until the battle was over. And there it was, above all, the essence of perfect, hidden all these years until he had the courage to unearth it. All the dedication, time, and sacrifices were worth it. He would surely change the world with this one, he was certain. But before he ever got to record a single quote, before the first line of the rhyme was ever spoke, the guards turned on the lights to the jail and I awoke, then sat down and wrote this song about a song I never wrote. Yeah, true lyricism for life. Support real rap, man. It's your boy DNA. Hope y'all could appreciate this. A song I never wrote.